Is XRP and Ripple truly the future of finance? I'm going to give you a different perspective and share with you why it's my number one holding. Now, I'm not telling you you have to do this. This is not financial advice. Do your own research. I'm going to give you a different perspective on how the game has just changed. From hopium, hoping that banks are going to use it as a bridge currency, to massive companies creating what's called treasuries. And I'm going to give you a different perspective. I'm going to share with you another outlook, why I use it personally for my family's treasury and for our corporate treasury for my company. As we speak right now, there are companies working to create a massive XRP treasury. Ripple-backed Evernorth plans a US listing aiming to raise over $1 billion to build the largest XRP treasury. Ripple, the company, acquired GT Treasury, which is creating the future of corporate treasuries with zero friction. Don't forget, Securitize partnered with Ripple for BlackRock's build. Okay, so let's go back to the treasury and the why behind this. I want you to think about this for just a moment. And all these people out there trying to put fear in your head. XRP is a shit coin, it's going to zero. Let's use rationale and logic. Read the book Intelligent Investor, Warren Buffett style. Do you logically think that Grayscale, one of the largest asset managers in the world, outside of BlackRock, would create an XRP treasury if they thought XRP was going to zero and it was a shitcoin? That's logic. Would you think that a company would be raising $1 billion for an XRP treasury if they thought XRP was a shitcoin going to zero? Here's why companies are creating Bitcoin treasuries, XRP treasuries, Ethereum treasuries. I'm going to speak specifically around fixed supply assets with XRP and Bitcoin and why we've done this. We created a Bitcoin and XRP treasury for our company. I'm the CEO of multiple companies and my responsibility is to increase the enterprise value of my company. So let me give it from a personal perspective. So for my family and my companies, as we saw that the US dollar was deflating by 24% purchasing power from 2020 to 2024. And just specifically in 2025, you've lost 11% of your purchasing power. So we saw that and said, let's put our income, some of our profits, cash, which is trash and worth less, into assets that have fixed supplies that appreciate over time. You could use gold, you could use silver. We used XRP and Bitcoin. I did it personally at a personal treasury level for my family. My XRP grew 800% since 2020. My Bitcoin went up 200%, and you lost 24% purchasing power. So I talked with my CFO. We implemented it at a company level. We run 20% profit margins. We take 20% of the margin, and we put it into XRP, Bitcoin treasury. Treasury just means the allocation of your assets. And then we created a dividend strategy, just like I have personally. When we get dividends from our monthly dividends, now it's weekly, what do? We de-risk those dividend monthly payments into more Bitcoin and XRP. So now 20% of my profit margin, 20% of that is now crushing inflation over the long term. So companies are going to create Bitcoin treasuries, XRP treasuries, Ethereum treasuries, and they are going to skyrocket the enterprise value of their companies. Here's the fact. The dollar is going to keep getting devalued. Trump is going to lower interest rates like crazy. And if you don't understand inflation, you don't understand how interest rates have an inverse effect on your dollar's value, you're going to get crushed every single year by inflation and interest rates. There's a reason why Trump is now one of the largest holders in Bitcoin as billionaires stand. There's a reason why BlackRock is the number one holder outside of Satoshi. There's a reason why the Trump family keeps telling you to buy the dip. The reason why Bo Hines just posted, never sell your Bitcoin. Why Trump has said, never sell your Bitcoin. Eric Trump has said, never sell your Bitcoin. There's a reason why Brad Garlinghouse, hanging out at the White House. This is not hopium anymore. This is not hype. This is real. What I encourage you to do is study how inflation works. Inflation is like you being stuck in a hole. Every single year, they pour more dirt on top of you. They run about a 2 to 3% inflation. At 2% inflation, you lose 35% of the value, At 2% every 35 years, your worth gets cut in half. So if you're not beating inflation, your investments don't beat the hurdle rate. You're just running in place. You're not growing your assets. You're not growing your 401k. You're just running in place. If you have $1 million in purchasing power today, I think it's about 26 years. You can do the math. This is just conceptual. But in about 26 years, you'll need 1.7 million to buy the same stuff because the dollar has no backing. That's why gold is at an all-time high. Well, that's why silver's at an all-time high. That's why Bitcoin's at an all-time high. But you see this in crypto. And you see this in your bank account because it's a trick. You see $100,000 and I see your dollar becoming worthless. And over the time, my crypto becomes worth more. It's just fixed supply assets. That's all it is. I don't care if you invest in crypto. You need to understand inflation. You can use gold, you can use silver. You just have to understand macroeconomics and microeconomics and understand by 2030 the whole system is going to be different. So I hope this helps. XRP is my number one holding, Bitcoin's number two, and that's why. Love you guys. Warriors, rise! Get your shit together. It's coming fast.